Good morning. This is the first day of the new year, and we plan to have something different for the breakfast. I started my day for making breakfast. These are the few garlic cloves which I just peel them off, and I'm chopping them into I'm slicing them actually into small bits. I can just crush it directly with this tool, but I just wanted it to be really, really fine because I have to add it to the garlic bread. So I just slice them and then I just mash them with this tool. This tool is really, really helpful. I got it from a day to day or a gift market. I don't remember yet, but this is very helpful when you have to chop the garlic into small bits or you have to mash it. So I just mash the garlic and then I'm going to warm the butter. I'm not going to heat the butter, but I'm going to warm the butter over the stove just to melt it. And I'm going to add olive oil to it, butter, then these garlic bits, a little bit of oregano, salt, and then I'm going to pour them over the bread and then I'm going to bake it. So here I'm just putting a little bit of butter just to melt it. And let me prepare this and then I'll show you how I just pour it over the bread.
Okay, so I have taken the baguette bread here. You can take any bread you feel like. It could be even the simpler bread slice also. They taste great with it. So if you take that, just spread the mixture over it and put it in the oven. Here I'm slicing it into small pieces, and then I'm gonna pour the butter mixture over it, and I'm gonna toast them in the oven. You can do it over the pan also if you have it. Just at the end when it's covered bit, you can cover it with the lid. So I'm just gonna put them in the oven. Meanwhile, I will start doing the preparations for the shakshuka, and let's get started. It these are on the racks and going into the oven, and we'll start preparing for the eggs. So I have poured a little bit of oil in the pan just to grease the pan. And once it is done properly, I just grease the base of the pan. I'm going to add the chopped onions. I actually chopped the veggies earlier. So what we need for this is um, onions, chopped onions, capsicums, and tomatoes. So here I've started frying the onions, and I'm going to saute them. Well, once they are done, then I'm going to add the tomatoes to it. Now you see the onions are saute and they have changed their color. And now I'll be adding tomatoes, the chopped tomatoes. I have approximately taken two small tomatoes. I have finely chopped them and I'll be adding them to the pan. Now once I'll fry them, they'll leave water and they'll be soft. Then I'll be adding capsicums to it and then I'll give it a little of stir fry, and then I'll be adding the flavorings to it. Because all actually the purpose of this dish is that this gravy contains all the flavors in it, and they actually give the because the eggs on it will be really really raw, so they won't be having any flavors. So we'll kind of pouch them. The eggs are actually in a form of a half fry or a poached egg. So what we'll do is we'll add flavorings to all this gravy what we are making at the moment. So once these tomatoes are fried and they are like soft, then we'll be adding capsicums to it and then the spices to it. Now you can see the tomatoes are soft. I'm adding capsicums to it. I thought they might be this capsicums are enough, but then I poured all of it. They were enough for it. So I took one medium to small capsicum. I chopped it and then I'm gonna fry it a bit so that the capsicum also leaves water and it adds the flavoring to the gravy. So now I'm going to add a bit of tomato puree to it. This is a tomato paste actually. You can put that and then you can stir fry it. Once it is done, you'll have to add a little bit of water to it and then you just cover it for a while so all the flavors get incorporated to it. Okay, so while the shashuka is getting done, this is the outcome of the garlic bread which I kept earlier in the oven. So one batch is toasted, the next somehow I missed the part where I added the spices to it. Just to inform you that I added 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of red chilies powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper crushed, and then 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, that's zira powder. So I'm mentioning here on the screen as well so that you can get, and then I just cooked it a bit so that they just get incorporated, and then after that I will make a shallow holes in it and then I will be approximately adding 6 eggs to it and then cook it on a low heat, and I'm going to serve in the same pan. This has to be served in the same pan, and approximately everybody eats it together in the same pan with the bread. So that's going to happen now. Okay, so now the Shashuska curry is getting softer. I put a little water and put it on the stove. Meanwhile, I decided to clean up the kitchen just to get free and manage the time well. So here I am just going to wash the dishes. It is good to clean up while you are working in the kitchen, like you're cooking, and rest of the things you should do it side by side, because once you are finished with the cooking, you are free to go. You don't have to spend all your life in the kitchen. So here I am cleaning up the dishes. Meanwhile, the shashuka curry is going to be softer. Once that is done, then I'll add the eggs to it, and the second batch of my garlic bread will be ready. So I'll serve the breakfast. So here I've added eggs to it, and they are getting cooked. Meanwhile, they'll be a little cooked. I'll make my tea, and here is the tea for me and my husband. That's been done. So here is the final look of shashuka, and that is how it's going to be served. Okay, so this is my kitchen cupboard, and this is all messed up. It's so messed up. The things are up and down. So let's sort it today. I've got a few grocery stuff also, and I want to put that as well. So I'm gonna clean up this, and I'm gonna sort this, and then I'm gonna wait. So let's do it together. The first thing I did was I took out everything from the top cabinet, and I'm just going to clean these things properly. I usually wash them when I refill them, so they were not much dirty, but I'm going to clean them if there is any residues on the bottle, and then I'm going to refill them and tag them today. These from the Amazon way back, way back. So I just kept them for sorting. Today just I took them out. I was like, we should tag it, because sometimes at the back side of the bottles at the back, I'm unable to see what is in it if the quantity is less. So I feel like I should tag them today, and I'm going to put these tags here. I cleaned the bottle, I dried them. These are actually peeled off like this, and then you can put it on the bottle. So I have cleaned it, and so now as I have tagged every bottle, I have stuck up the label. Now I'm going to write it one by one, and once it is done, I'm going to stack them up on the cabinet. I believe the kitchen should be sorted like many other places in the house, because the house or kitchen is one of the place where you spend most of the time, and once it is sorted, you have a lot of help. You save your time and your energy to work, and you work efficiently in the kitchen. So that's how it should be. So I always try to keep my kitchen sorted. The things should be organized. You also tell me on the comment some good ways how you keep the things organized in the kitchen, and some good hacks which I can use as well. So this is how it has been done. So now this the top shelf is done, and the labels are properly sorted. It really helpful once you just pick up something from the front, and you know what is at the back. You don't have to use the step stool all the time. After this, I'm going to do the lower shelf, and then I'm going to clean up rest of the mess. My daughter was here to help me out with this as well, so I'm just taking this is the shelf which I got from Desu, and I just separate my tea section from the rest of the masala boxes. So Hum is going to clean it for me, and then because of the kitchen this is getting rusty, we will DW 48 so that it won't get or more rusty. Yeah. So let me clean this. So I'm gonna place this here. This is gonna come here. This is gonna come here. And then I'm gonna place these here. Then these are going to come here. Okay, so these are all my kevas. This is written in Urdu, but this is the keva. So I'm not gonna change the tags. This is actually done by my mom, because I'm always very confused between all these kevas. So this time when she came up, she just tagged them and she wrote it, and she said this is how it is, you're gonna do it. She got annoyed by her.
Here goes all the others I've ordered from Amazon. They'll come tomorrow and then I'll put them here. Meanwhile, I got few things. I'll do that. So I got them cut and I'm gonna put them like this. So whenever we require, I can just fetch it up from.
So this is how the cabinet looks now. After cleaning and tagging everything, it made my life easier and things are sorted. So it will consume less of my time to work in the kitchen. So now I was dead tired after this. So we ordered this food from outside
This
and we
is
are
what
going
it
to eat it.
is.
And that's the end of the day. Take care. See you tomorrow.